this conference today with one thought. As we think, so we become. That is one of the most key things that we have learned today. As we think, so we become. We have learned so much, and so much has piqued our curiosity and created that awareness in our mind to be able to have that urge to learn more. By profession, I am a physical therapist, and I work with neuromusculoskeletal disease. And even I know that in my very minimal knowledge of all of that we have learned and heard today, I know that if I have to increase the range in a frozen shoulder, I'm not going to be able to yank it and make it move unless I sit the patient down, talk to them, what their kids are doing, where they're going to college, get them to relax, then I can win that confidence, then I can have that patient to relax, and then I can work with that patient. That's a basic knowledge that we all as healers in the profession of healing understand and must have. So, I have a few questions that have come up to me, many questions that have come up to me. And so I'm going to give 2 minutes to each of our panelists to take a moment to answer. We all have this work to do. We're all leaders here in our communities. We have deadlines to meet. We're under this high pressure. And we have all these people on our committees that aren't doing what we want them to do. And we're just loaded with stress, not just of our work and our home and our families and our daily life, but the additional work that we have volunteered to do. We've been put into this leadership position, and so we are blessed. And therefore we must lead with the best tools possible, with the best knowledge possible. And that was what the intent of this conference was, to help give a holistic approach to life. But our first question here today is, and panelists, just raise your hand and let me know, and I'll bring the mic to you. What is the relevance of the topic to the leadership challenges faced by the Indo-American community, or to the problems of the immigrants in adapting to the new environment?
I think it's a very good question, and I think you can look at this from various point of view. And being an immigrant myself, I think coming into a foreign country and not knowing a lot about the culture and having a network of support that is already established, and how do we use that support to help us get familiarized and get into the system. And I think in the position of leadership, and I think we as leaders or in various areas, I think we need to come up with a system where we have a support network that can help anybody who comes into the country to be able to adjust, adapt in all areas of life, including support from an emotional standpoint, from a social, financial standpoint, from the standpoint of incorporating whether it is training, in job training, but creating a network of support. I think that can help the immigrants that are coming into this country to get into the system and also be part of this organization.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bhaskaran. Our next question today is there any non-surgical Ayurvedic treatment for carpal tunnel syndrome?
There was an article published in JAMA a few years ago, many years ago I think, that showed there was a study between two groups, control group and yoga group, and they showed that just by incorporating a lot of the basic yoga techniques, carpal tunnel syndrome patients got a lot of relief of the pressure from the nerve. Ayurvedically, maybe Falguni can answer.
we just have to go back to, again, the same concept that yatra pinde tatra brahmanya. You know, what is here is out there, and what is out there is here. They're also closely related. If it's something like carpal tunnel syndrome, it's vata activation, and of course the use of that particular arm, or it's always going to make it worse. So you have to kind of balance it, balance. Someone had mentioned it earlier, and so it's and of course panchakarmas and all that is also not done, but it is not like a talon again kind of a thing. It is a very, but vata pacification is very important.
Let me add a little bit. For the carpal tunnel syndrome, what they did was just to do the pranayama and the detox of the nerve centers, the nadis. If you open up the nadis going to that area, maybe there's too much energy pent up in that nerve. More pressure there because of repeated use, overuse. So relaxation techniques, opening up the nadis, detox, and the flow of prana if you balance it out.
Thank you so much. Again, it's my job to keep this running, so I'm going to run through this. And certainly our panelists will be available afterwards so that you can visit with them on a one-on-one basis. The information, so I have another question. The information and charts presented were very impressive. It would be beneficial to have them at the ICC website for all attendees and others to learn and enjoy. Is there any possibility? I think this goes to Dr. Balla.
Certainly we will look into that. Very simple answer.
And if our panelists are willing to share it, I'm sure that that could be a possibility. Yes. The next question says, well, comment, great topic and very learned, experienced panelists. The question is, while efforts are being made in pockets, is there a movement such as the Transcendental Meditation movement by Maharishi, which was a world movement in the late 50s to early 80s called the Age of Enlightenment? Efforts need to be started at early school age through college and thereby hopefully get better people, especially leaders.
Yeah, so because I was working for Maharishi Mahesh, about 25 years back, I had just finished graduation from Bombay, and when I moved with my husband up here in Lancaster, they had a center. At first, we were a little hesitant because we thought some sage, but anyway, when I got my job up there as a Ayurveda physician, my first job actually, I was also with Deepak Chopra there. But the best thing is when the first time they taught us meditation, it was like, oh my God, what did they do to us? You know, I'm like, how can they take me out of my own body? But it was beautiful, and my husband felt the same way too. Even though he was an allopathic physician, he thought, oh no, I'm not doing this. But when he did it, he's like, wow, what is this? Because in Ayurveda we were taught more medicine. You know, we were more physicians than yoga and meditation. But yeah, I think some seminars like this, and leaders and all, everybody getting together. This is how we'll probably start this process of going forward on transcendental meditation. I was very, very thankful to Maharishi. Even though he called it Maharishi Ayurveda, his own kind, which I understood later on because of the library purpose we have here, but it was very, very informative. I mean, it was very good for everyone, and in Iowa they have a very big center. Of course, Deepak Chopra himself, that's where he started, and I'm glad that whatever education that we can give out, we should go for it, yeah. And we need, of course, everyone's support for this.